Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome back. Crimson Sailors, that's what we're going to call the subscribers now on this channel. I like the name and everything. It kind of rings off the tongue and sounds pretty good. But I decided to make another video for this month and everything. I got another one planned out too. Got two videos actually planned. I'll try to run them out today. Hopefully my ISP is not going to be a Pega this time. But a lot of the things that have coming to me, I'm trying to see like other videos I want to make and everything like that. And the one that kind of public to me the most, especially, is when I'm on Twitch and doing account reviews, is mistakes that I see on accounts slash new things that I see also new players kind of like not leading towards to, or when I'm on Twitch, a lot of new players not making mistakes. So this video is going to be pretty much the top 5 mistakes that I've gathered from just overall account reviews and just in general lurking in Twitch and stuff like that. Oh, with other content creators, of like what new players are mistaking on when they join the game into Azur Lane, everything like that well, and trying to give some tips and guides on how to kind of fix that or keep up with the mistakes and everything like that, and kind of get into a better direction of everything to fix them and everything like that. So first one we're going to go with is no PvP. That's a lot of times that I see a lot of new players are scared of the fact of getting absolutely decimated in PvP. That it's a huge XP miss out, especially as a new player. You shouldn't really be worried about PvP, considering the fact that PvP in this game is not even real time. And honestly, it's just a simulation of who has the bigger balls in the server and everything like that. It's pretty much just for ego. Other than that, it doesn't give you like a purpose. You don't get a badge from it. You don't get extra resources from it. You don't really get anything from it. Other than that PvP is so critical for a new player due to the fact that it's free XP for your ships, whether you lose, whether you win, no matter what happens. If you tie, whatever, it's free XP that you're missing out. That it's actually a good amount of XP too, because a lot of times it's higher than the chapters that you'll be farming. So getting on that free XP gain, that you get an extra 10 runs, that you can get almost 1,000 XP per run per your vanguard and your main fleet. That's really good to help you level up and get those levels that you need as a new player, especially when you're grinding, because Azur Lane is one of those games that has a level disadvantage flaw, where if you're below the enemy's level that you're farming in a chapter, you're going to take more increased damage overall when you're farming, which is going to lead to a more miserable experience. Also, it's a good source of resources, especially you get Bolins, you can get purple Bolins, you can get gold Purins, you can get South Dakota, which is only really good if you have Washington, so I recommend getting Eldridge first for evasion buff and everything like that as well. Eldridge is a pretty decent DD and everything like that as well, with gear and everything like that as well. But you have access to those resources, which are so critical for new players, that there's those in there, and we don't get a lot of Bolins and Purins handed out to us in the game. So getting that early on will help you with limit breaking your characters and getting them increased and everything like that. But just keep in mind that don't be afraid of PvP. It's literally just it's free XP. So go on there, go at it. Don't worry if you don't lose or not. Just go in and have a good time and just get that XP for your ships. If you care about PvP, then I guess try, like, just go and do it, and if it pisses you off, just don't do it. I mean, that's, if you're like me in the game where I'm 128, I don't really care about PvP anymore, because I don't really need it, because I'm in a part in the game where I can just go to a chapter and farm equivalent XP. So for me, I really don't use PvP. I don't really need to flex or anything like that. I'm not into that. But moving on to the second one that I see a lot, especially with even veteran players, is hoarding boxes slash resources. Your boxes for gear, and gear is so important in this game now that instead of being more of a ship meta now, it's more of a gear meta. So the fact that there's a lot of times I go on accounts and they have like 40 or 50 to 200 plus gold boxes just sitting there, or they have a bunch of purple boxes that are just chilling there as well. upgrade your common boxes to blues and your blues to purples. Never open blue boxes or anything like that. Never open common boxes. Always upgrade them to purple boxes. So that way you actually have a better chance at better gear that's going to help you out. Considering the only really great blue gear is like the fire extinguisher, which helps with fire damage resistance and everything like that as well. And that's kind of like the only thing that's really great. And then there's the AR-197 plane that was best slot for Graf Zeppelin, because at the time it was the only plane that the Germans had for bombs, where all the rest of their planes just had, their fighters just had guns. They didn't have bombs or anything like that. Moving on from that, it's very critical that you guys open your boxes as a new player, especially purples. You can get toolboxes, you can get Helldivers, you can get, AP shells for your battleships. Toolboxes are always great. That's extra health for your ship. That's also heals. You can get AA radars that when you go into chapters that require, or you're struggling in killing the planes that people are throwing at you, you can use the AA radars to help boost your AA. Gold boxes, that's chances at a lot of good stuff like AA guns and standard guns for your ships and everything like that. But the main point is open those boxes. Being geared is so nice that, especially as a new player, it's gonna help you out tremendously. And you're not gonna be sitting there where you're in a map and you're not really doing that much damage, because your gear is so subpar to what the chapter's requirements are. Getting that your early gear boost with opening the boxes and taking the chance of getting purple or gold equipment is very great. Keep in mind that there's some purple equipment that's better than gold, but we'll go over that in a later video down the road and everything like that, what weapons to keep and everything like that, or what weapons to use. Moving on to the third one that I see a lot too is people not having Akashi. A lot of people actually don't know Akashi, especially if you're starting into now. A lot of people are not going to know what Akashi is or how to obtain her and everything like that. Now that she's pretty much, you can literally follow her quest on the wiki. It'll tell you how to obtain Akashi, but getting that early ship on that has some of the best building or healing in the game as well, due to the fact that she's one of the longest to obtain, because she's going to take at least a couple of weeks to obtain due to all the missions that she requires to do just to get her. Starting that off early will save you a lot longer in the long run, considering the fact that she's going to require some of the materials and mats that you saved up. She's going to require a certain amount of boxes, a certain amount of general part maps, stuff like that, and a lot of other things. So getting her on early on would be very great. She's a very good and constant healer. She also comes with 3 emergency repairs, so you can use those to repair your ships as well when you're farming for gradual health. She has good AA as well for scaling and everything like that as well. So she's a very great overall ship for healing, especially if you don't have any healers that are in your fleet. If you don't have access to like a unicorn or a Shoho or a Vestal or like Perseus or anything like that, or Ryu, stuff like that. With our new rerun, Ryu was back there. So if you don't have any access to those healers, getting Akashi started and finished would be very great until you can obtain someone like Unicorn or Shoho or Vestal, which are going to be a lot better in that terms of that run, where Akashi would kind of have like a little higher of a heal, but Akashi doesn't do damage, versus where Shoho and Unicorn do damage because they're equipped with bombers and everything like that as well, and have good healing and overall fleet buffs and everything like that as well. So the good thing is get Akashi started early. It's going to help you out in the long run, and you're not going to go through a painful suffering of when you're higher level and you got to get rid of your critical resources now that you need to give her, because you're using those resources for other ships in the game and stuff like that. So moving on to the fourth one that I see is probably one of the most common ones, is a lot of times is new players only, and new players and some veterans, but veterans can do this now just due to the fact that we have a lot of ships that are equipped for this. Starting off with only making one fleet to level, that alone is going to hurt you. There's a lot of times that I get people that are joining me in Twitch or some other Twitch streamers, and they're trying to do events and everything, but they don't have a lot of ships leveled because they only focused on leveling up one fleet at one time, where they're super power leveling these ships that they got and not leveling up other ships to help them with chapter requirements, especially if you're farming an event, especially like a hard mode, where hard modes have a lot of different requirements that require different things with like torp requirements, AA, firepower, stuff like that, where only having that one fleet isn't going to help you, considering the fact that you're going to have to probably fight 5 or 6 mobs, and most majority of the fleets are only equipped with 5 ammo, and you're going to want that other fleet to help kind of neutralize some of the targeting, so it takes off the disadvantage that you're going to have with no ammo cost as well, running different missions and stuff like that as well. So having 2 fleets leveled at once, aka your mob fleet and your boss fleet, which will be in my next video discussing the difference between the twos of starting and recommendations for mob fleets and boss fleets, like what's the difference and kind of recommendations of how to build them and everything like that will be in the next video. But getting 2 solid fleets built at an early on stage is very critical, especially if you're going to want to do events and earn equipment and the ships that are in there and gearboxes like that in events. Having 1 or more fleets leveled up and a lot more consistent ships and different categories leveled up is going to be very critical for your progress through events and everything like that, and later on chapters such as chapter 8 or higher. Having the 2 fleets, you'll see that it's going to make it a lot easier to be, so that way you're not putting so much stress and hurting your mood of your girls and bringing their morale down with only having that 1 fleet. And you're going to have that other fleet back up for you, so that way you're not going to have to waste all that time getting them from like level 1 to level 80. They're going to be a mixture, maybe like 40 or 50 depending on how much you use them or anything like that as well. You can just throw your second fleet into your main dorm if you wanted to, realistically, for the XP, and then if you have the second dorm slot, you can put your mob fleet in there, the one that you're using to farm, in top of your second dorm. That's why the dorm is so critical now, because you can be very versatile with it, where the second dorm slot can be for leveling up the ships that you're trying to level to make for your second fleet, and the first one up in the layer can be for the ships that you're farming with, so like they get constant morale back to them and everything. Last but not surely is going to be a mixture of a couple of things, and that's going to be lacking of finishing dailies, weeklies, and attempting Operation Siren. A lot of times I see weeklies and daily missions are not being obtained by it because they're, one, as I said, for the following is their oil is low and they don't have enough to do the missions or anything with weeklies. Weeklies are so easy now. If you guys haven't seen a lot of the content creators making the 2-1 commission videos, is that you can literally just get run a 1-1 fleet in 2-1 where the enemies are like level 20 to 30, and you can make them extremely low cost. Like you can run like a Cassin limit broken at level 70 or level 80 Cassins that's retrofitted and everything like that as well, and go with a back line of like a Langley or something that's only like a 1-star and hasn't been retrofitted or anything like that. You just make sure that no one can get to your back line, and then what you do is you just repeat recycle the ships that you get. You turn them into coins, you turn them into oil, and then by doing that you can run through so many of your missions and finish those extremely quickly, just due to the fact that a lot of the missions are combat missions or doing certain things or enhancing ships and stuff like that, and getting the dailies done. That's also really good resources. There's free coins, there's free oil, there's equipment that's handed out to you, there's Bolins as well. I mean, there's so much good stuff that finishing your weekly and daily missions is very critical. I would definitely work on trying to do that and getting those done, so that way you can start getting resources back to you for the cost that you spent to obtain those weeklies and dailies. That's why the 2-1 grind is so good, because it's very low cost in return, that you're not spending so much oil to get your dailies back, and you're actually getting more resources of oil and everything like that than you are putting out, especially if you can do 1-1 and everything like that as well. The other one would be not attempting Operation Siren. I know that honestly, new players shouldn't really be looking at like Operation Siren or PR or anything like that. Just due to the fact that like PR is kind of like so overwhelming that there's so many freaking ships in the game now for priority that when looking at it and you're like, oh, what are these? These look really cool, but the issue is that they're not going to be very valuable to you until a certain very high dev level and everything. Definitely, you can move, work on one and everything and unlock one now, but PR1 was kind of made a lot easier for you now with Priority 1 that you can use your coins to use as prints to buy out prints and everything like that and level them up and everything like that as well. Especially if you're not finished with them, you can use your coins to finish out the prints to get them to their dev level and then fate send them as well. But PR, you shouldn't be really focusing until you kind of grasp a basic understanding of the game and have the resources available to you to start priority research farming, and then go from there. Operation Siren, a lot of people turn that away too because they're like, my fleets can't handle the corrosion 1 through 4 maps, or I'm getting slaughtered and this is really annoying me and everything like that. Attempting Operation Siren, I think you should just attempt it. I know there's going to be struggles along the way, but that's why having so many fleets and so many ship girls leveled up at once, getting multiple fleets made, and leveling up is very vital due to the fact that Operation Siren, you can have 4 fleets and everything like that as well, and switching them in and out and making sure that they're geared and everything like that as well. But just attempting it is very critical because you can start getting resources that you can get for in-game. You can get the meta ships as well. You can do... I mean, a majority of people could do 1 through 3. A lot of those are really easy. They're like chapter... They're equivalent to like chapter 1 through like 5. They're like level 20 through 60. So... you should be able to do that. I would stay away from other things like abyssals, which are marked on the map as like red little danger marks. You'll see them, you know what they look like, or the spinning cloud things that are strongholds. I would stay away from that, but I would farm all the other ones that say like corrosion level 1 through 4 and everything like that. And if you can handle the higher ones, then go for it. But other than that, I would not stay away from Operation Siren. At least attempt it. Give it a try. If it's too much for you, then go back to what you're doing as far as getting your ships leveled up and getting everything started, and kind of just physically sitting there and planning out what you're going to do, what your goal is for in-game and stuff like that, and just figuring out ways to attempt in-game and everything like that as well. That's always good. Azur lane isn't a rush. It's play at your own pace. I always say play at your own pace. It's going to help you out as well. It's not going to get you drained. You're not going to be, you know, not motivated to play the game as well because, you know, your girls are constantly dying. You're constantly running out of oil. You're getting infuriated that you can't clear this. Just take your time and go at your own pace. Enjoy the game. That's what we're here for. And we're here for you guys when you have any questions about the game and everything like that as well, just to help you guys out and everything. Other than that, guys, that's going to wrap everything up. I just wanted to make a short video on this little concept as well. We're sorry for a lot of repeated words. It's just a habit of mine and everything like that as well. But I hope you guys did enjoy. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel as well if you do enjoy my content. We will be streaming today on Twitch here, and actually in a couple of hours. You guys want to come and join us as well. Hang out with a bunch of other cool content creators and our community. Our Discord and everything will be linked in the comment section below. And if you guys did enjoy the video, get some comments and things down there. If you guys have questions on anything about this video, or like what you would like to see next, or I want to see what comments you guys think that also a lot of people miss, or what like new players and veteran players are missing in the game, still looking at their accounts, and how we can help people better out and everything like that as well. And throw some stories down in the comment sections about like how you guys started, how it was for you, what got you guys into the game, what brought you here and everything like that as well. And throw some stories. I always like reading stories down there, especially. I like reading comments. Yeah, I love reading comments, whether they be good, whether they be bad, whatever it is. But share some stories of how you guys started the game, what it was like for you starting out, and I'll be glad to get back to those and everything. Other than that, guys, I hope you have a good one. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and everything like that, and weekday, and I'll see all you guys again in the next video. Later.